Actress Meagan Good's real-life views on sex and marriage are, though, very different from her character's outlook in Jumping the Broom. It was on that set where she first worked with her filmmaker husband, DeVon Franklin. They believe saving sex for marriage is the key to success. And for that couple, it meant committing to celibacy until they tied the knot in 2012. Their new book is called The Wait, a powerful practice for finding the love of your life and the life you love. Meagan and DeVon join us both at the table. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Good to see you both.
Good to see you too.
Now, this is what I thought was so interesting, because you get the book, you read it, and there's a lot of snickers and a lot of, yeah, sure, look at the two of them. But you were celibate for 10 years, even before you met her.
Yes.
And you say in the book, deliberately not having sex is a foreign concept to men.
It is. I mean, you know.
To every man I know.
Well, for 10 days sometimes that's a foreign concept. But for me, it really started as a spiritual practice. You know, in my other life, I'm a preacher, and I didn't want to live two lives. At the time, I wasn't practicing celibacy, but I was still talking about it. And when I said, you know what, I have to be the man that God called me to be, and part of that was taking this vow and waiting until marriage. And when I started doing that, it gave me discipline that helped me in every other area of my life. And so I started telling other men, you want to be successful, get victory over this area, and there's nothing in life you can't do.
What did you hope to find with The Wait? Why was The Wait important?
It was very important because at the end of the day, what I found is when you're dating and you have sex on the table, things get cloudy. Your judgment.
You said it clouds your judgment.
Completely, because it's almost like dating under infatuation. In the infatuation period, you don't even know who the person is.
Yeah, and I think the truth is, a lot of times it takes us years down the line before we really realize who we're dating, because we are a little bit blinded and because we are kind of making some excuses here and there for the person because we're so physically codependent on them. And when we take that out of the equation, you actually get to know the person across the board in every other way except the physical way, which comes later, which is icing on the cake.
Sexual compatibility is an incredibly important part of marriage.
Absolutely.
A lot of marriages break up because people are not sexually compatible. If you don't have sex before your marriage, how do you know you're not compatible, that part of your intimate relationship will work?
Well, here's what we have found, just in all the people we talk to, and even in our own relationship. When you have a foundation of love and friendship and trust, and then you get into sex, you actually now have a foundation to explore each other. What we've also found is that when you say, hey, I want to find out if we have sexual chemistry right now, sometimes that sexual chemistry creates an imbalance because you could have great sex, but no love. And our thing is we wanted to find out, can we love each other without letting our sexual prowess in the bedroom be the thing that determines if we like each other. And we found that was very strong.
So was it a gateway to other things, so to speak? I mean, because when it came, it gave you an opportunity to...
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not sure I understood.
I mean, in other words, how did it change your life after?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it worth the wait, Meagan?
Yes, it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
But simply because it was so great and because you really knew each other and because there was no sexual dynamic.
Right,
yeah,
right.
that was a huge
able to
part
explore
of it,
everything else.
Is that there's so much trust and there's so much confidence and there's so much just a knowingness that we have because the foundation of what it was built on to us is just so solid, and everything else, again, as I was saying, that's additional, that's icing on the cake. But I just don't know how to explain it, but I've never been in a relationship.
But for you, Meagan, I thought it was really interesting because you had a label of being a party girl. You had a lot of different high-profile boyfriends, a lot of high-profile relationships, and so when people heard Meagan Good is now celibate, people were like, "Aye." So what is it that you want people to know? Was it a big change in your life for you, a big change in your way of thinking, or did it happen after you met him?
No, it happened after Jumping the Broom. I came home and I just kind of prayed about what I needed to be doing because I felt like I was a mess and I felt like I had kind of hit rock bottom in terms of emotionally and spiritually. And so it was in that prayer time that I came to the conclusion that I needed to be celibate. I needed to do something different than what I had been doing all the years before. Every relationship that I came out of, I felt a conviction about wanting to be celibate, but either the person wasn't on the same page with me, or I would get fearful that I would lose them, or that we would break up, or whatever it may be. And it wasn't until I just decided, like, this is what I need to do for me, because I need to heal and I need to focus on myself and I need to advance myself in every area of my life without the distraction of, feeling like I need this man, whoever it may be.
But is there some definition of celibacy? I mean, do you march right up to having sex but not doing it? Because if you do it, that'll be breaking the celibacy
Yeah,
bond?
as we define
So what was
celibacy,
your-
celibacy is about purpose. It's about, abstaining from sex with purpose. There's a difference between celibacy and abstinence. Abstinence is just, hey, I'm not doing it. And we say, well, sometimes you can be abstinent just because you don't have options. But we define celibacy as, you're abstaining from sex because there's a higher purpose and a higher calling, and we believe that it's specifically related to marriage.
But what I'm asking is, what can you do that does not violate your vow?
Oh, it's about remaining pure. It's about remaining.
But there are other things you can do romantically and be intimate.
Hugging,
and be
kissing, holding each other tight.
Hugging isn't what we're talking about.
Okay, Nora, it's a
program.
family
Yeah, it's a
program,
family
right.
But you're saying, but there's other way of being intimate other than
That's
the
right. That's
actual
what I'm
act
asking.
of intercourse, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Definitely.
But what about
we aren't
people-
saying. I don't think we're saying what you're saying.
Yeah.
We're saying that physically there is a line, and anything that would put you over that line where it's like, okay, technically you're kind of doing it, but not.
Yeah.
That's what we also avoid. Say you should avoid.
And for people that just want to have sex just because I like you, you like me, no strings attached, you just think that's a terrible way to live? Or it defeats you?
Look, in our experience, we just feel like at the end of the day, you have to decide what you want out of life.
Yeah.
What do you want? Where are you going?
Yep.
And then make decisions that will help you get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meagan Good and DeVon Franklin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And The Wait goes on sale tomorrow. It is published by Simon & Schuster. That is a division of CBS.